Is in Yenagoa. Tell us about the devastating scenes that you are witnessing.
It's almost unspeakable, Anna, when you think the fact that 33 out of Nigeria's 36 states have seen flooding this year. It's the worst in a decade. And this is where I'm standing in the capital of Bayelsa State in southern Nigeria. This is one of the main streets in this capital of the state, and this is what it looks like. And it's been like this for weeks. People are trying to make the best of it. They are angry at the government's response. They feel like the government didn't prepare adequately for the flood, even though there was a forecast. And then when the flooding hits more than 3 weeks ago, they haven't felt like they've been responded to in the proper way. So they manage. But this is the reality of the devastation. For instance, look at this here. This is a filling station that's completely submerged, will probably never be safe again to sell fuel. And you see this all across the city, all across the state, and all across much of Nigeria. So imagine wading through a major city, and this is people just trying to make sure they go by their businesses because they don't feel like the cavalry is coming. And I've been here in the past few days speaking to people all across the state and the neighboring states, and they are livid, but they have to make do.
Our community is still submerged nearly a month after the flooding began, with no end in sight. Boats have become the only way to get around much of Bayelsa State in southern Nigeria. The streets have turned to rivers, driving entire communities away from their homes. Mama Obi takes us to what is left of her home. The water is still waist high.
So now suffer with the suffer.
We have really suffered, she says.
Help us.
Tell the government to help us.
I beg. Tell them make them come help us. Not be only me, oh. People where they suffer plenty, oh.
Everything you own is here under the water in this your house.
Yes. Clothes, oh, everything.
Some are living rough on the streets, washing with this water, cooking with it, and bathing in it.
Even though people's homes and businesses and livelihoods are already submerged, it's still raining, and there's more expected. The Nigerian government is warning this could go on through November, so even more of this.
This is Nigeria's worst flooding in a decade. Aniso Handy has remained in his house through it all.
Nigerians are used to managing. If not, we would have all died. We have not seen a situation where people are not cared for. But Nigerians care for themselves. We are just like infants that have no father, no mother.
The feeling of abandonment runs deep here. Victims are disappointed with the Nigerian government's response, which hasn't declared the flood a national emergency.
We're not there comfortable, and I fear for my children, make them not go sick.
We're next to the local cemetery, and residents have reported seeing bodies floating here in this water. This flood has displaced not just the living, also the dead.
The floods have affected 33 of Nigeria's 36 states, partly due to well above average rainfall. Bayelsa is among those cut off from the nation, with major highways underwater. The situation has been exacerbated by poor drainage infrastructure and an overflowing dam in neighboring Cameroon. But with a warmer climate causing more intense rainfall, authorities have also blamed it on climate change, angering some Nigerians. In this community, though, there are more short-term consequences.
So you're worried about the children mostly?
Yes, my children, them, no, they go school again. No way, now that thing, they pin me.
It's a tough life to navigate for humans and animals alike. But life must go on.
The way life goes on is that you reopen your business and try and make the best of it. Even though your city has turned into a lake and you need a boat or a canoe just to get around, navigating streets that were previously you could walk on them, now you need a boat, but that's how people are making the best of the situation. Anna, when you look across the street, you see so many businesses that have had to shut because that water, the flood water, gets all the way to the steps. So the ground floor is no longer a place where people can live, but they are just trying to get by because the warning is that there still could be more rainfall to come in the next couple of weeks, and the 5 worst affected states, the water levels could rise again, and they don't know what will happen if that happens, if they have to move even further away from this part of the country, Anna.
Larry, such devastating scenes that you're showing us, and hard to believe that the government has yet to name this a national emergency. That is just truly appalling. Excellent reporting, Larry. We thank you and your team for bringing us that report. Larry Madowo joining us from Yenagoa in Nigeria.